So yeah, today let's talk about the difference between being yourself and living in yourself. There's a lot of things that people portray as being yourself because when you portray something, you put on an image, you show an image, you broadcast an image to your mind and others. So being yourself, you don't necessarily have to be who you are because be, the true version of being yourself is living yourself, living within yourself, grounding yourself with living within your bodies, and knowing your limits. At the same time, knowing that certain limitations that you've put upon yourself are limitless. Knowing your boundaries, but knowing that what you love and what you desire, there's no boundary to it. Because everything is not just something outside of yourself. That's why I mean by living, that's why I mean by being yourself and living yourself. There are two different things. And when you're living yourself, you're embodying who you truly are. Because being yourself is something you do. Living yourself is something that you are. Being your natural organic self. Understanding and overstanding that you are in this body and this body is not in you. You are controlling this body, but this body is not you. This is what you have. This is what you are using. It's like a car, it's like a house, it's like a controller. You are living in this body. So when you're living yourself, you're understanding that every expression of your feelings, of your life, of your personality comes from the inside. And it mirrors the things outside of you. Because as above, so below. That means your inner self is it's expressing itself through outside things. Like when you see trees, you picture in your head a seed that it grew from. When you see flowers, you picture in the head a flower bud that's blooming, but you don't necessarily see the flower blooming at the time. You don't necessarily see, you haven't seen the tree grow to that size, but you can picture it happening. That imagination, that imagery is from the inside. So when you're living yourself, you're operating from the inside out. And when you're being yourself, you're operating from the outside in, because being yourself requires acting upon something, doing something. And living yourself requires feeling something, hearing something, touching something, and knowing something. It's because you're operating from the inside. And it's like conscience and subconscious. So when we live ourselves, we are in our divine timing, our divine right as a sovereign being to be happy. When we're living ourselves, we're being able to be happy with what we got. When we're living in ourselves, being we're being optimistic about the things that you can do, not what they can do, what he can do, what he say, what they say, what you can do, what you can say. It's like focusing more on yourself. It's like a inch of selfishness. When you're living yourself, you're you're gratifying that you are here, and but you are not. You are not here. You are not here. You are here. Your energy, you are the energy. You are the soul, and that soul is here. But your body, that's just something you're using to to show that you are here. Your body is the affirmation, the manifestation of you coming to being. And when you're living in yourself, you're giving self gratification. You're honoring the fact that you are here. That's why when people give prayer to God, give thanks to God, they're honoring the fact that God is present. You're honoring the fact that God is here and present in their life. So when you give gratification and honor and love yourself, you're giving an affirmation that you are alive, that you are happy to be here, and you're happy to be within this body. So when you love yourself, it's not what you say, it's not necessarily what you say, it's how you feel about yourself. When you love someone, it's not what you say, it's how you feel about them. It's what you do when they're near you, it's what they make you feel. But people don't know how to love others because they're not loving them from the inside out. They're not loving them from their own skin. They're not loving them from their body, from their mind and soul. They're loving them because they're loving them because of who they are. They're loving them because of what they do. They're loving them because of how they do and what they say. But they're not necessarily loving themselves because of that. They're not loving them because of themselves. They're loving them because of them. So that makes it a one-way love trip. That makes it a one-way give and take. Like where you give and they take, but they don't give back. And once you operate from yourself and you give yourself that ground, you give yourself that orb of existence, you give yourself your own space and honor someone from within yourself, you honor someone from yourself, you give love to other people from you giving the love that you have for yourself to other people, and that love will come out more genuine. It will come out as more purposeful to other people, and some people may not know that type of love because their whole life they've been seeing people love them because of them. They haven't been seeing people love them because they love themselves. So they don't know how that feels. So all these women and men who's been wishing for the right person, who've been wishing for the right girl, man, to come along and love them, how you're truly supposed to love a person who's come there and take care of them and help them throughout their problems, stay with them through the struggle. They don't know that person when they see them, and when they finally have that person, they won't be able to keep them because they're operating from a past point of view. They're operating from a traumatic point of view. They're operating from what they had and not what they have. So they're gonna see you and try to judge you based off everything you do by looking at what they had. So now they're gonna lose sight. Before they lose you, they'll lose sight of who you are. So they'll do exactly what their past traumatic relationship has done to them. They'll take you for granted. They'll not take care of you when you need it the most. They'll use you. They'll manipulate you because they're acting like a creature. They're acting upon impulses and reactions, and they're just doing it on an instinct because they have been manipulated and they have been mind controlled into doing these things. Their brain has been controlled into thinking this way because they've been with that person for so long. Now they don't know what to do when a good person comes along. So tell yourself that you are here, and not only you are here, I am here. So when you say you are here, it's like in the Bible when they say that when God spoke, he said, ye are gods. What that was meaning was, I am in you. I am that voice in you that's loved. I am that voice in you that is happy. I am that light in you that gives gives creation to all things good and bad. So act upon you. Act upon how you feel. Keep your boundaries. Keep your limits, and limit your skin, but don't limit your mind. Limit your brain, but don't limit your conscience. Limit your heart, but don't limit your soul, because everything is beyond the physical at this point. We all know now. We all know these things now. We all know that it is true, that it is more of the spirit realm more than it is the physical realm. It is more of Ghana than it is of Gaia. It is more of yin than it is of yang. Because this world that we operate upon, there's so many things that we are not seeing. Like it gets smaller and smaller, and it micro sizes, and it macro sizes, and it gets bigger and it gets smaller, and you are in the middle of that realm of physical. And once you able to tip the scales and balance your heart, balance your body, your mind, and your soul, you'll be able to expand. So now your energy is in both realms. Instead of one being more on this side, one being more on this side, your energy will expand. Your Kundalini energy will rise, and you will be tetrahedric. You will be enlightened. You will be ascended to another realm. You will activate your 3D, your third eye, and you will be able to transcend the 3D. You will be able to think of things outside of this realm. You will be able to hear and see things outside of this realm. And you'll be able to do things outside of the normal means, like activating your true powers, activating your empath mind, activating your telepathy, activating pyrokinetics, activating your telekinesis, activating your strengths, activating your energy flow throughout your body, and activating your chakras. So open at the closing. Open your mind when it seems like you need to shut it off. Open your mind at the times when you want to shut it down. Open your mind even more at the times when you want to give up, because that's when you will truly see. They say before you die, you go over everything that happened in your life like it was a panic, like you're panicking. Like when you're in panic, your life flashed before your eyes. It's because at those moments when our body is in fight or flight, our mind and soul is not connected to us anymore, because we are now acting out of our subconscious mind, and we are not in control of what we do. But when those things happen, when we are in the moment, when we are in the fight or flight, activate your mind even more, and you will see beyond the physical, and you know that fear is not real, time is not real, and the physical is not as physical as you think it is. Peace.